I be smoking blunts in the most oddest places at work. I'm up in the tree right now.
All right, welcome back. It is 420 somewhere. We're going to talk about NFL. We're going to talk about Rolling Stone. We're going to talk about polls today. So just starting out, I just want to iterate, I guess not reiterate because I have not iterated yet, that polls are important. They show not just politicians, but they also show businesses, and they show the people in charge, the people who have power everywhere, what people are really feeling and how they really feel about a topic, especially something like marijuana. And the polls that come out for marijuana are almost always good for the people who are advocates of the plant. And one just came out from that was backed by the ACLU. It says 2/3 of Americans support decriminalizing drugs, and not just marijuana, but drugs. So it's basically saying that the war on drugs has been a failure, and almost everyone is supporting getting out of it. That not only tells people like the government of Connecticut, who saw polls coming from Connecticut and decided to bring back the bill to legalize marijuana in the state, that they should be taking this seriously and that this is what people want. Piggybacking off of that, let's go to the NFL, where they are looking to get out of kind of the opioid pain treatment business, which they've been in for decades now. And that's kind of been the way that they've been treating pain ever since the 90s, when opioids kind of blew up and Oxycontin kind of came out of the gates and became very popular very quickly. They are now looking to get out of that because of the clear and obvious addiction problems with opioids that have been in the past. They've taken $1 million and are going to give grants of up to 5 people who can research the best ways of treating pain. And one of the ways that they're specifically focused on is marijuana and CBD. And they want to see first and foremost just to see if it actually works, which they're gonna have a high bar to pass for that. And the second part is to see how it is affected when it's being used with other medications that athletes may be on. So I think the fact that the NFL is looking into marijuana will go a long way, because they're going to take this very seriously, and these studies are going to be rather extensive because of that. And it's pretty exciting to see that the NFL's potentially not going to be treating their pain with opioids, but actually treating it with marijuana. That's a huge step in the direction for marijuana. The NFL recently, last year, they had a complete overhaul of the way that they dealt with marijuana. They would test for drugs, and before it was constant testing, and athletes could be suspended for any positive tests. Now, as of last year, it is you cannot be suspended, and you can only be tested within a 2-week span each year. So they are clearly kind of coming around to the idea of marijuana just being something that athletes specifically use a lot, especially NFL athletes. And the threshold for a positive marijuana test is a lot higher than it was. I believe it's 4 times as high as it was before. To me, this could potentially be a big story. And if the NFL does change their pain treatments and targets marijuana specifically to be the one that deals with the pain there, I think that would go a long way in changing a lot of red states' mentalities towards the plant. So yeah, it's really good stuff overall.
What are the 3 states of matter? Florida, California, New York. Solid.
Speaking of people who are just getting into the marijuana business, Rolling Stone is finally kind of crossing over the barrier of being the pro-marijuana advocates and journalists to now actually selling their own weed. They are merging with Curaleaf and creating their own pre-rolls. I think there are going to be a few different strains that they're going to release, and eventually next year, I think someplace in Vegas, they're going to have their own retail. So Rolling Stone is finally, it obviously makes sense. Rolling Stone has been around for so long, and they've always been proponents of marijuana, so it definitely makes sense that they're getting into it now. But it's kind of exciting, and I think a lot of people would be really into this. That's the news today. We're not going to have a show Friday, but I'll be back next week for some more news. See you then.
White ice.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
She had no idea.